Hey, welcome back, Mr. Smith Garage. We're here in the garage with Jack and in Mrs. Smith's car over there. We've been working pretty hard on Jack, and I started thinking about like parts that I needed, and sure enough, I got kind of stuck. I guess I'm kind of stuck on getting some of this stuff in, but I know we talked about behind this toolbox. I had a couple boxes. I've obviously got, here's all of the Westphalia furniture that goes inside the Jack, but I've also got lots of body parts like tail lights, blinkers, bumper stuff, all kinds of hardware. This is the hardware for the pop top, for the sink. You can see it all. I mean, there's windshield wipers, everything. But I had some boxes, and so I pulled those boxes out and found what I had back there was brake shoes and brake drums. And in another one of those boxes, I had 4 Lowbro boots. So thanks, Burley, for that Tiguan boot, and it's on here. We're going to go with it. So now I just have 4 extra boots. And what it made me start thinking about is I probably should start organizing all my parts for Jack, because I've had Jack for 4 years now, or 3.5 years, and I've been collecting parts, but I just can't remember what I've collected. And because I've used some of the parts on Jill before Jill went away. So anyway, I've started cleaning this out. Like the last time you probably saw this, it was a little bit messier. I've kind of cleaned out this area so you can kind of see what's going on down here. Started going through different boxes of additional parts, because we also had a donor van. If you remember, I talked about a brown two-tone 82, so I had quite a few donor parts, but I did get hung up on getting... Let's see, I didn't have any brake cylinders, and I have 4 brake cylinders for the rear, but they're just a little crusty, and I thought, they're mismatched rubber seals, so I just ordered some new ones. So those are on their way from Vanagon. Again, I'll throw the website up here, but I ordered quite a bit of stuff from Vanagon this week so that I could finish up kind of the brake piece, get some wheels on there. Then I can start working on the front suspension and the shift linkage. So that'll kind of be the next big project. But while I was, going through parts, I'll show you some of the things that I found. Look at this. I ordered these, I don't know when, but from, I think, Auto Haus AZ. But these are plugs that go into the back of the backing plate here when I get those all finished up. So that's the plugs for the adjustment stars. And then I've got hardware here for the brakes, new hardware, but I also found my adjusters and kind of cleaned those up. And there is a left and a right to these, so just got to make sure when we install those from the Bentley that we follow our procedures, because one of them is left-handed threads, one of them is right-handed threads. A couple other things that I pulled out of there and we've talked about is I've got 2 wire looms here for the engine. I believe one of them is the original 81, and I think that's the one with the blue tape on it, because I labeled stuff as I was pulling it apart. But it is pretty crusty. Like you can see, let's see where I'm talking about on here. You can see some of these wires are just not in good shape. And then this is one that I think I pulled off of, this is one that I got down at Buggerama last year when it was in Sacramento. But even on this one, you can see the wires are in pretty rough shape. But it gives me a tool that if I want to create my own, if I can't find the loom, then I can just create my own loom and just retrace everything and set it up as new. But I'm going to probably try and find somebody that's selling that. But here's some front suspension stuff and my Radflow shocks and all the things that I need for the front suspension, including, I know these 2 boxes up here are front upper ball joints, I believe. Let's just double check. Yep, that's what those are, is the upper ball joint for the front end. I also found in a box, I had ordered plug wires. Here's my box of distributors and electronic stuff that I have. I do believe that in here I found a coil. So I got a brand new coil in there for Jack. And then here's a couple of these seals for the intake. I found two throttle bodies. I found two throttle bodies. Here's one, and this one was complete, and I think it's the one that came off of Jack. And then I had another one that was incomplete, but I went through and added I think this is something to do with the accelerator. When you're at full throttle, you can hear it comes around. So if I can do this one-handed, and it clicks. So it's showing you kind of like a full throttle position, and then that's not full throttle. But went through and cleaned this one up really good. Found the little nut and piece of hardware that holds the throttle cable. And so this is a throttle body that we're going to throw on this engine. I probably will order a new seal. I've got those two seals over there that are used, but I'll probably order a new one. This is all extra stuff. I want to say this is for federal, and I need one for California because it's got 3 outlets instead of 2. So we'll be on the hunt for that. Found that I've got my intake hoses there. I got a belt. Got my temperature sensor, head temperature sensor. Like I said, I've been finding all kinds of stuff. Here's the old fuel injectors and a couple of seals for the transmission. We're getting new fuel injectors from Vanagon. I found this, which I didn't have on here yet. So this is just a plastic screen that goes on there. Didn't need to order that. What else do I have in here? I have my starter, Wasp starter there. So anyway, it's been very helpful kind of going through and making sure that I clean out what I can. Now I'm going to work on the front end of this and see what, most of this is probably body parts or interior parts. This is fuel tank, but I just want to kind of get through here and clean this out so that I know what I'm working with. But anyway, thanks for joining in this journey to rebuild Jack and get Jack back on the road. Had a good conversation with Jim the other day, Diesel Jim, and he's excited for me to get this done too, because he's a camper. We want to go camping again and do some more videos of us kind of overlanding and going on some old fire roads, dirt roads, finding places to go explore. All right, so I'm going to get cleaning on this front end of this, and I'll be back and show you our progress. Okay, I'm back after doing some more cleaning up front, okay, so all that paper I kept because I thought, well, I could use it for masking stuff off when I'm ready to start doing some painting and body work. So that's why I've got all that paper. It's from different shipping things. What I found through going through some of this stuff is I did find I've got that intake boot, but I think for California I need a double piece for this. So I'm gonna look for that online, see if I can find it. I don't know what the part number would be, but anyway, I think for California emissions it takes 2 off of that. One goes to the deceleration valve and another one goes down to the heat or something. Anyway, found my intake manifolds that I had cleaned up and reprocessed, so those are ready to go. I also found a bunch of other intake stuff. So I've got an additional throttle body, a couple of those these heat riser type things, 2 plenums. This one was in a fire, so it's a little rusty, and including these intake manifolds, those are a little rusty on the inside, but I'm going to hang on to them. I'm going to hang on to these. I've got some fuel rails, original fuel rails here, pressure regulator. Not sure if I'm going to need a new one of those or not. Cold start fuel injector, and then my fuel injectors that came off of, I believe, this engine. Anyway, so I found all that stuff. I'm going to hang on to that until we make sure that Jack's running. This is a box full of just stuffing, and I need to keep this box because it's for something specific. But I found some really cool stuff that I wasn't sure if I had all these. So these are just different heater parts that go underneath as I hook up, when I hook up the exhaust, when I finally figure out what kind of exhaust I'm going to use. This is another one here. This is a fresh air hose that goes from across, I believe it goes across from the alternator down to the other heat exchange stuff. This is just an extra heat exchange thing, same as this one. But you can tell this one looks like it's not bent. This one's bent, but at least I can see the trajectory and angle of that. I do have some exhaust stuff here, but I may try to do some custom exhaust when it comes to the muffler. I'm gonna have to see how that works. This is all my front end fuel tank. So the fuel tank hose and stuff, but I've got brand new. I've got all of this stuff new. But that's a metal piece that I will keep, and same with this is a metal piece. That's from the filler neck. Got some push rod tubes in there. Up front here, this is all internal stuff. So the steering wheel there, you can see a bunch of plastic parts for the front end of this, because I've got the dashboard is outside in the shed. But I was gonna probably take care of, I might replace this fan unit here. Just depends on when I get to the interior how I'm going to do that. I feel like I've got this a little bit more cleaned up. I did find some more parts for like the door. That's the mechanism to open the door with. That's about it. I've handed those drums, so they're ready to go on once I get the wheel cylinders. So that may take a week or so. I'm not sure how fast. I think I've gotten stuff pretty fast from Vanagon before. Again, Vanagon.com. I think that's going to do it for this. I just wanted to kind of clean up, see what kind of parts I had, make sure that I don't double buy things, because it's okay that I do that, but I don't need to right now. So I just want to make sure I get stuff going and ready to go and run. That's where we're at. Thanks for joining Mr. Smith Garage and for this update. Oh, that's another thing I was going to mention, is I do have brake lines here, but I think I'm going to rebuild my brake line system. So, because I've got some chunks in different spots on some of these, and so I am going to get some parts and brake line kit to be able to make brake lines so that I can redo them all. If you have any hints on doing brake lines yourself, just let me know. Oh, here's the other door stuff that I found. Door mechanism stuff. So yeah, that's just an empty box. So all kinds of organization going on today. That's kind of what we've been doing. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.